Good morning. Happy Wednesday. And I just realized that's not up. I got it screwed up yesterday. I'll put the rhythmic up on the screen in just a second. Ooh, it's not looking too hot. All right. That wasn't looking too hot. That's not it. All right, that's correct. All right, so 2 trades taken this morning. Oh my God. That trade is a pattern I had a question mark next to. And that just solidified my thought process with that. I didn't even have to lose that trade. All right, so good morning, you guys. I've taken 2 trades this morning. Both lost. The loss that I just took as soon as I got on the stream. This pattern right here, I literally have a like on my cheat sheet, I have like a certain pattern that I'm looking for, and I put a question mark because I was questioning if that was what I was looking for. And after that loss, that like solidified everything. So I will remove the question mark because it's now solidified. So that's cool. Today I know it's going to be extremely slow and probably, I won't say slow, but the volatility in the movement is not going to be the most ideal, but that's okay. That is so crazy because I think it was Friday I was questioning that. I think it was Friday, and I feel like, because I don't know when I wrote that in. It could have been before Friday, I'm not sure. But I do know that I was questioning that. But I didn't feel like going through my other notebook to look at more examples, so I just put a question mark. And yeah, see, I lost this exact pattern, this exact way with the volume on Tuesday of last week. And there was a couple of other days. There might be one other. Oh, not Tuesday of last week. It was yesterday. Literally, that was my only loss yesterday. I don't know where I thought that was last week. Now I'm curious. Hold on. This is why you keep journals. Yeah, I think after I lost it yesterday, that's when I put the question mark because I remembered that seemed to be somewhat of an issue before. 751. Wait, this is the wrong notebook. Wrong one. Good morning. Got you another PA in big red on the first PA. Got to stop trading out the open. So the open is causing you problems consistently. Hello, Lamine. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome to the stream. Right now I'm looking through my Yeah, so right now I'm just looking through my old I don't want to trade that pattern. I'm looking through my last notebook because that pattern I just lost on, I am quite certain that I need to finalize that as a rule of not trading when it looks the way that it looks just now. No more question marks next to it. That would be the second. What is that? I don't want a double bottom combo. This is a pullback to my major level right there. What do I think today, up or down? I don't know. I actually don't trade that way. I'm a scalper, so I don't really care if the market goes up, down, sideways. It doesn't matter. If my strategy sets up, other people can think the market is going to go up and I'm scalping sales at the time. And I also don't look at, I mean, I have a daily chart on another tab that I just look at sometimes because I just look sometimes, but it doesn't sway the way that I trade in any way, shape, or form. At all. My overall bias at the moment is an uptrend, but it'll change to a downtrend at some point if it goes down there. All right, so we just got that unnecessary loss back. So I should be break even right now. But yeah, I'm what you see on the screen over here, I'm actually a little bit more zoomed in than that. Like I only see this double bottom and beyond. I don't see anything outside of that. And sorry, I didn't mean to come off rude. I literally don't know because I don't trade that way. I know a lot of people, you know, they intraday scalp and they make decisions based off of that. The only thing I know is my bias at the time, like when the market opened, let's see, I was in a downtrend. No, I was in an uptrend bias when the market opened, changed to a downtrend bias at 836, changed back to an uptrend bias at 847. But my level to change it to an uptrend, the price just immediately rejected off of it and started going down, and then we started going back up. Yeah. So right now I'm still in an uptrend bias until price gets down here to 770.50 down there, the yellow line. So, but the thing is, even if I have an uptrend bias, you will still see me taking sales. What's wrong, baby? Oh, you playing at the floor is lava? 5, 4, 3, 2. You guys can't be too loud. I'm streaming. You gotta play in the family room. No. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Rio. Scalping is so hard. You know what? And sorry if y'all hear my babies in the background. I watch my niece and nephew like 3 times a week. Scalping is hard. So I can't say that I didn't start off scalping. When I first started off trading many moons ago, yeah, I was not a scalper. I more so, no, yeah, I think I was more like intraday swinging. And then I did get introduced to Rinkos, a different, no, I'm pretty sure our Rinkos had wicks on them too. So I did get introduced to Rinkos. So I started trading 10 years ago. That's when I was first introduced. And when we first started out, I'm pretty sure I was using Thinkorswim at the time. And then at some point we changed over to Forex, but we were using Rinkos to scalp. And the strategy didn't make sense. Okay, the guy claimed, this is the same guy that scammed all of us, who I helped get put in jail and all that other stuff. Story time for later. But he was teaching us how to scalp on Rinkos, way different than what I do right now. And he claimed to be so successful with it, but then when you tried to trade the exact same way, you didn't get the same results. And whenever I would reach out to him like, hey, how come this trade lost? Now, of course, you don't always have an explanation as to why a trade lost. You can see the same exact patterns every single day, and sometimes it just loses. But he can never really explain things. Hey, do not come in here. You're too loud. Go play out there. Either stop playing or play in there. He don't look like he want to play. So y'all need to chill out because you're too loud. So anyway, yeah, he tried to teach us scalping. That didn't work. So then we switched over to I started developing like a more intraday swing trading. And I can't even say intraday. I was like swing trading on Forex. Then I went to Nadex. I learned a couple of strategies from Jack at Major League Trading. He's not there anymore. Nadex was cool. I'm not going to lie. The only issue I had with binary options was, baby, when that contract would close and it closed at your exact strike price or like one tick the opposite way, it make you want to slap somebody. So eventually I was like, yeah, no. So then I eventually got back into futures. When I first started with Apex, I was intraday swing trading. And it was cool at first, but the reality is I've always wanted to be a scalper. And after I got caught in a couple trades where like I'm up quite a bit and then, you know, it comes maybe 10 ticks from my take profit and reverses and goes and hits my break even, that makes you want to slap somebody too. I had that happen in Forex a couple of times where I remember one time I was in a GBP NZD trade for literally 2 weeks. In the first 2 days, it had came about 10 ticks away from my take profit. But at that time, I didn't have an auto break even. So it was an all or nothing type of thing. And yeah, it for 2 weeks it just sat there doing this. Come close, do this. Come close, do this. And then I ended up losing that trade. I said, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. So fast forward to me starting with Apex. When I first started with Apex in May of 2022, I wasn't really serious about trading again just yet. And the reality is because I was making $40+ an hour as a nurse. Easy job. And that was kind of always my story. Like whenever I would get irritated because the results aren't exactly the way that I want them to be, I would just be like, screw this. I can get paid doing a whole lot of nothing in nursing. So why not? Why would I sit here and stress myself out about this? So I started off kind of the intraday swinging, and eventually last year I was like, okay, I want to figure out how to scalp. And when I first started, I was scalping. I was not trading the Nasdaq. I was trading the ES, crude oil, gold, Dow, and the Russell 2000. And while all of that was cool, and I actually was having some pretty decent results, my results were so scattered. So, like, I would have a really, really good day and then, like, a really, really bad day. And I feel like, and this is just for me, if my strategy is producing such drastic differences in my win-loss ratio or my profit and loss on a day-to-day basis, it's not where it's supposed to be. That's just my thought process. Yes, market conditions change and I get all of that, but I told myself last year I'm going to figure out a way where, if I don't care if it's an inside day, outside day, regular day, I don't care if the volatility is low or high, I want to be able to trade the exact same way. So eventually, like late last year, I stopped working as a nurse in 2022. But late last year, I kind of got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm done with my credit repair business. I don't want to do this anymore. I really, really actually want to focus on trading. I no longer want my lifestyle to be based off of if customers are buying from me or having to put in so much work. And, you know, you do all of this work for people, they're unappreciative, or you get their credit scores up and then they go do something stupid. And now all the work that you've put in is basically gone. Or you have people who don't pay you for the work that I don't feel like dealing with that. At least with trading, it's me and the charts. I can't blame nobody else but myself. So I closed my credit repair business August 31st. And that's when I started really actually focusing on this. So even though it's been almost 2 years that I've been with Apex, I've been doing other stuff and I wasn't really focused. So then fast forward to the weekend of Christmas. That is when I started to figure out that I wanted a more volume-based strategy, because remember, my goal is for this to work no matter what the market conditions are. Well, no matter what the market conditions are, volume is volume. Whether volume is high or volume is low, volume patterns will pretty much be consistent no matter what the volatility looks like. So Christmas is when I started focusing on that. And I told myself it's going to be a couple months before I figure things out. The first trade I took on the stream today was a loss, because this is a volume pattern that I haven't been paying attention to until like yesterday or maybe a couple of days ago. And after the one loss I had yesterday had this same exact pattern. Today, same exact pattern. They both lost. Guess what? That's going to be a rule now, because we're not even going to do that. There's no point. But yeah, I mean, I think with scalping, the biggest thing is you have to have a strategy that makes sense no matter what the market conditions are. And also, you have to be real quick with your entries. I know a lot of people use market orders. I do not. I use limit orders. But I use a chart trader indicator, to where, like, if I want to get into a trade, I can literally just click. Like if I wanted to get into a buy right now, there's a green close button. And when I click it, it's going to enter me as soon as the bar closes. It's a close bar entry indicator. If it was not for this, there's no way I'd be able to scalp. Not the way that I do. There's no way. I wouldn't be able to. So yeah, it's been a ride, and I'm glad that I have you guys on my journey with me from the beginning, because you can see all the red days and all the struggles to get to the point of where I'm going. but it's been well worth it. I can say that. I can. You're in a buy, you tilted, blew up your evals. Trenches. Trenches. Now, you know we don't tilt around here. What caused you to go on tilt? Were you in a trade and you just didn't want to be okay with getting out and being wrong? Because I know that's a lot of people's problems. They just don't want to be wrong. They just don't. All right, we have news coming at 9:30. I haven't had any setups since that last win. Let's see, 13. All right, I'm not gonna take a sale. Okay, yeah, that was right. But yeah, scalping is not the easiest thing to do. And I see people scalp on 1 minute bar, 1 minute bars or charts. My girlfriend, she uses 30-second charts. I have another girlfriend that uses 5-minute charts. I see people scalp on 2-minute charts. For me, like, I can read the time-based charts or the tick-based charts and all of that, but they still don't make as much sense as Rinkos. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube. There's a bunch of different reasons, but also because there's not a lot of traders, it's on YouTube at least, that talk about Rinko trading or show Rinko trading. I know of everybody that I've ever seen that trades live, nobody uses Rinkos but me. So I think that's pretty cool. It's going to take some time to kind of finish getting things where I want it to be, but that's the beauty of it, because there's not a lot of traders out here who have a lot of information out there about Rinkos. That means that I have to put things together myself. You know what I mean? So it's not easy for me to just find a video and say, hey, how do you trade this with Rinkos? It ain't available because people just don't trade Rinkos like that. And most of the content that you find about Rinkos is like super old stuff too. Super old stuff. All right, I'm not interested in the buy because we didn't clear this high. We made the new session high there, but we didn't clear this high over here. So a buy wouldn't really make sense because the trend is not strong enough to get past the previous high. So I can keep trading until 1 minute before light impact or medium impact news. And then I restart 1 minute after light and 2 minutes after medium. When it comes to high impact news, which we don't have a whole lot of high impact news events during the time I'm trading, since I only trade the first 2.5 hours of the session, but I completely stop 7 minutes before and then I restart 2 minutes after. Because typically before light and medium impact news, the patterns are still consistent, but for now, at least with the high impact news, I have to stop 7 minutes before because it gets a little wonky, which makes sense. A lot of people start putting in orders, pulling out orders and stuff like that. So yeah, I can keep going for the next 2 minutes. I highly doubt I get another trade in the next 2 minutes, but we'll see. We will see. If I can at least get back to break even by the end of this session, that would be nice because that's where I should be right now. But we'll see. We will see. So for those of you guys who you're kind of new here, the lines that you see on the chart, so the triangles just mean that that's the new session high, the white triangles. The squiggly lines are typically the order flow VWAP. And then the dotted lines here are resistance and support lines. Pink if it's resistance. I think they're green. No, they're blue, I think, if they're support levels. That's really, I mainly just trade with different forms of support and resistance. I have the order flow VWAP. I use the Ninja Co famed super pivot, which I really love because it gives you extended levels if price goes beyond the first 4 support or resistance levels, it draws you extended levels. And then I trade with the current day open high low, the prior day open high low close, and that's about it. Where did I learn Rinkos? Site or on YouTube? So remember, I first started learning about Rinkos with the guy who scammed me and some of my friends. That's when I first learned about Rinkos. At the time, because we were using MT4, we used, I forget the name of the company, but it pretty much looks like this. But I was trading a totally different way. And then when I came back to futures, because last year I did, I think, go to Forex at some point, and then I came back to futures, if I'm not mistaken. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to the Ninja Rinkos, because I used Ninja Rinkos for like the last probably 4 years or something. They've been around for quite a bit. But everything that I learned is literally on my own. Like, even with the settings, when I first came to YouTube, I was using a 20 and 2 chart. At some point last year, I was using a 16 and 2. I think I've even tried a 24 and 2. And don't ask me why, but at some point in the last couple of weeks, I was just like, you know what? When I used to trade, like the Nasdaq was the only one that I used a 20 and 2 chart with. Everything else, when I traded ES and all of that, it was a something in 1 chart. It usually was an 8 and 1 and a 10 and 1. So I was like, I wonder if I would fare better on the Nasdaq if I used a whatever in 1 chart instead. So that's when I decided to do that. And so far, I like it way more. It's a lot smoother. The moves look somewhat similar, but they're a lot smoother, and you don't get as many fake outs because every new bar. So once a reversal bar paints, every new bar is 1 tick. So that's why when I get into a trade and it takes off, you see it happen so fast because it's literally a tick at a time. I did actually use Heikin-Ashi. That's what I was using when I first started trading with Apex. When I was intraday swinging, I was using Heikin-Ashi candles. And I like Heikin-Ashi. The only thing I don't like, and honestly, Rinkos reminds me of Heikin-Ashi just from a standpoint of, like, you know how with Heikin-Ashi, it's not a real open and close. That's kind of the same thing with Rinkos, because once you have like the reversal bar, this is not the real open of these bars going down. Of course it's not. You know, when this bar closed, it didn't come up here and then this bar closed and price come back up. That's not how it worked. So it does remind me of Heikin-Ashi. The only thing with Heikin-Ashi, though, is you really have to watch, especially if you don't backtest with market replay data. You can get screwed creating a strategy with Heikin-Ashi because you think that, like, so let's say if you use EMAs or SMAs or something like that, you can think that that is the way that the moving average is painted in real time. But a lot of times when it comes to Heikin-Ashi candles, it does not do that. And that's kind of what I ran into when I was intraday swinging. And it wasn't like a huge problem, but it kind of was. But I did run into that problem. I did. But I don't have a problem with Heikin-Ashi, though. One of my girlfriends, that's what she uses on a 30-second chart. She uses Heikin-Ashi candles. And it works for her. It definitely works for her. With my girlfriend who uses a 5-minute chart, she just uses a 5-minute chart with regular candles. Her strategy works for her. I just don't. It doesn't work for me because the way I see the market with any type of chart aside from Rinkos, the way I see the market is different than other people see it. So, yeah. I could get into this sale. I'm not going to, only because I typically so because we had news, right? This first swing started at 9:30, And so typically after news, I wait for 2 swings and then I start trading again, even if news didn't even move the market much. Now, last week, I think I did take one trade that I didn't wait for the 2 swings and it did win. But because I only did it once, I'm going to sit here and see what this one does to see if I need to go back to doing what I was doing before. Because when I used to wait, you know, I was trading a lot different than I trade now. It might not, I might not need to do that anymore. So we'll just see. I drew out the risk to reward so we can watch it. And if it wins, that's fine. And there's the win. See? So now I know I don't need to wait for the 2 swings anymore. As long as my strategy sets up properly, I don't have to wait anymore. But the reason why my thought process was like that is because, like, if volume is only coming in because it's news, it's like fake volume to me, or however that swing happened is like fake to me, because it probably wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the news event. So that's why, like, as soon as I can start trading again at 9:31, then, you know, I would sit there and wait and let's see what happens kind of thing. So now I know I don't have to do that. Now this trade I'm going to sit out of because this is showing a way I couldn't trade on my 20 and 2 chart, and I have not looked at this at all. When I switched to Renko settings, I did not do a full back test, and I'm not going to. So certain things, because it doesn't set up a whole lot, I just got to sit back and watch it play out and write it down when I go through my trading journal at the end of the trading session. And eventually when I see things work out a certain number of times, I know, okay, we don't have to pull that rule over from the old Renko settings. You just downloaded a script for Thinkorswim to try Renkos. It's really cool. I mean, you have to find a setting that works for the way that you want to trade, right? So for me, I chose a 20 and 1 chart because, again, I traded at 8 and 1 on the ES or 10 and 1. With gold and crude, it made sense for it to be a 10 and 1 chart because of the way that the points and ticks and stuff works over there, right? With the Russell 2000, 10 made sense. You think about it, 10 ticks is 1 point over there. With the Dow, a 20 and 2 worked, but the Dow doesn't move as much as, I mean, it's less than the Nasdaq, but it's more than the ES. You know what I mean? So with the Dow, a 20 and 2 could work, or 20 and 1 could work, but I felt like a 10 and 1 kind of worked really well for that one too. But with the Nasdaq, the only thing that I can say is think about how the ticks and points are. So with the Nasdaq, you know, 4 ticks is a point. So your brick size, you want it to be a multiple of 4, because every 4 ticks is a point, because you don't want your pricing to be based off of like half of a point, because you're using like a multiple of 3 or 2, you know what I mean? So you just have to find what works for you. I know people who use anything from like a multiple of 2 all the way to a multiple of 20. So there are some people who use like a 12 and 4 chart, meaning the brick size is 12 and the threshold is 4. So every 4 ticks is a new bar. And then when it comes to learning the reversal bars, because the brick size is 20, that means that it takes 40 ticks or 10 points from the highest point to reverse down, from the lowest point to reverse down. So that's the other thing that you have to think about. I know some people who like they chart on a time-based chart, but then when it comes to execution, they'll execute on Renkos, because you can see higher lows and lower highs and things like that a lot better on Renko charts than you can other charts. So it just depends. Let me see. 96. I want to make make sure there's not too much stalling here. If it stalls too much more, I won't be able to get into this divergence trade. All right, I'll have to wait. If this pushes up, I can't trade it. If it pushes down one more bar, I will be able to pull back to my major level back here. All right, and we just hit the major resistance level. As you can see, $7.86. I don't really know exactly how I feel about. I don't know how I feel about trading at the major support and resistance levels right now. So I'm gonna sit out. Everything's set up properly. I just don't like the resistance level being there. So I'll sit out and then I'll make note of whatever happens when I write out my trades later. And that would have been a loss. 850 low. Actually, it would not have, not yet. Once it goes one more tick beyond that, it will. All right, there was a loss. So you just have to figure out the patterns that you're looking for. And that is it, and that is all. I could have taken this sale, but again, with the major resistance level being there, I'm just not exactly sure how I want to trade near those yet. Now that might be something maybe this weekend that I will backtest, because we don't really trade there that often, so I can go through like a whole month's worth of data in probably 30 minutes to see how I want to treat that. Because when I was on my old Renko settings, that trade right there worked out just fine. Like I could have traded it. But I don't know with the 20-in-1 chart if it's the same just yet, because I've been focused on other stuff because we don't trade near these levels that much. So I've been focused on trying to figure out the other patterns. But I do think that, like, I know a lot of people who trade like time-based charts will say that the Nasdaq just moves like erratic and there's no consistent patterns or anything like that. And I feel like it's because they're looking at time-based charts. Because literally the strategy I'm developing is based on patterns I literally see all week. Whether volatility is high or low, volume is high or low, I see the same exact patterns every single day. That's how I'm able to say, oh no, I'm not interested in this buy right now. I'm not interested in this sell right now, because I see the same patterns every day. I'm so glad those kids calmed down. I think they had chocolate this morning from Valentine's Day gifts. All right, it's too much buyer pressure right here, so I can't get into the sell continuation. And remember from earlier, actually this might be a different level from earlier, but my bias just changed to a downtrend right here at 802. Now, sometimes when my bias changes at a level, it creates some kind of divergence and then it just pushes up from there and doesn't even keep that same bias, and that's okay. But right now it is a downtrend bias. We'll see if we clear it or if we just push up off of the resistance level and just push up, since resistance can become support. Excuse me. Okay, so I see what the pattern is for that first trade I took on stream that lost. I see exactly. So I could have kept myself out of wins if I was looking for the exact pattern I was looking for, but it's more so just don't trade this one pattern that shows up. I think all right. It's another level I have to pay attention to. What I would like to see is for us to clear this yellow line right here. I want us to clear coming down, and then I will be pretty clear to take a bunch of trades. Or I want to see us clear the top of the resistance level. With this particular this resistance level, I have as, oh, does it show as squares? I can't tell, but I have it as squares because on the super pivot, the first support and resistance lines, they form like a zone, and this indicator will actually paint if it's like an inside day and all that other stuff. I don't have it paint the zone that way because I don't need no extra colors on my screen, but it does paint that way. I just feel like I can always just go look at a daily chart and see if it's an inside or outside day. Patterns like ABCD, yes and no. Like, I look at so when I'm trading, I look at of course, the pattern of the lower lows and highs and stuff, and I look at my resistance and support levels. But I also look at how they paint at those levels, if that makes sense. And then I also pay attention to volume. So I pay attention to volume of the swings, mainly is what I pay attention to. So like this is a pertinent level where I have the yellow at. And so anytime I have like a lower low, lower high, lower low, if this pulls down, I'm not going to trade it because we've rotated. And when I say rotated, that means that the previous swing bar closed on it and this one will close on it as well. So I can't take rotations like that when it's the normal lower high, lower low, lower high. I can't do it. Because most of the time what's going to happen is if this bar closes down, buyer pressure is going to come in immediately. I have to break even. There's no point in even trading it. And also because if this was a strong downtrend, right, then we would have cleared this level and kept going. But we got stuck at this level and started, reversing up. So, yeah. The level we get on the time-based charts are the prices. Large orders are either bought or sold, so it becomes either support or resistance because the big boys set their algos to buy or sell there. Do you look at, I don't think we talked about this, do you look at Bookmap? No, you told me that you look at level 2 data. I know when I was watching one of Patrick Whelan's streams. I don't watch him very often because he has way too much energy for me and I just cannot. I'm not an energetic person like that, so he overstimulates me. But I was watching one of his streams the other day and I noticed that he uses Bookmap, and every time the Bookmap came up on the screen, I was like, bro. Now, of course, he had it to where you could see all the number of orders and stuff at the different levels on the right, but all the bubbles and everything, it drives me insane. I don't know why, but the bubbles on Bookmap drive me insane. Insane. But yeah. But see, you kind of scalp and you use those levels to your advantage. I watch streamers who scalp on time-based charts and they don't look at any levels. I know one trades with a VWAP and maybe like a 20 SMA. Another one trades, I think, with 2 SMAs. I noticed lately he hasn't been trading with a VWAP on his charts, but I do notice that basically he's kind of looking to, he scalps like 6 ticks. He, you know, we talked about this. He thinks that the number of points that I go for is not a scalp. I think it is. But whatever, because how can 24 ticks not be a scalp when this just went 48 ticks in like 3 minutes? So the number that you see there, that's the number of bars that this swing is. And because every bar is 1 tick, then it's 48 ticks. But technically it's more than that because remember it had to go 40 ticks to reverse. So it's like 88 ticks from bottom to top. But either way, so it looks like when I first started watching him, I was like, I don't even understand what the hell he's looking at. It just looks like he's clicking buy and sell. But over time, I noticed that he's looking for like, he looks at support and resistance levels like directly to the left of where price is. And he tries to enter on like the very first bounce. So when he sees price coming back down, he'll enter a market order for a buy because that looked like congestion over there on the left. He's only going for 6 ticks. He tries not to go for a second or third bounce. Sometimes he does and he gets screwed when he does. And he is somebody who kind of like averages into losses. So yeah, but yesterday I saw him come $20 from failing an account, and he got that last contract that he put in. He ended up getting the last little bounce that he needed, and it came all the way back. And I was just like, "What a bounce!" You don't like the bubbles? I don't either. It's too much. You hesitated to close your buy. Why did you hesitate? Where's your entry at? And see, this is what I mean here. So I had 2 levels that kind of say that we're in a sale. So I have this first level that kind of confirms early that we're entering a downtrend, and then the second one kind of confirmed it. But you could see how as soon as it confirmed, it started bouncing back up from that exact level. Let's see. Oh, I couldn't take that one anyway. But then we come up here to that level up there and you see we just bounced right on down. So a lot of times, like when it's a brand new trend, overall bias, there's not very many trades I can take. My nephew is crazy. We're trying to potty train him and he's just boys. He just don't wanna. All right, let's see. 1.7. My granny is having the hardest time getting him to go to the bathroom. Let's see. 92. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom now. Let's see if this sale ends up validating. For now, it's not. Oop, I hear a pop-pop stick. I don't know why we have to threaten this child. All right. So if this sells, I don't know. If it sets up properly, I don't know if I'll take it because I'll have to break even at the middle VWAP level. That's the only VWAP level that I break even at because it is kind of like a major level of support or resistance. So depending on where this reverses, I might not get into it. Barbie's head fell off. Girl, how you keep breaking the Barbie heads? We done had these Barbies for God knows how long.
I'm trying to stand him up, but he can't stand up.
Yeah, I don't know how you broke the head, baby, because we've had these Barbies for years, and you cracked it, so it's broken for good. I had this Barbie since I was a kid, and we didn't break it. How did you break it? Was you trying to put something on his head?
I was trying to sit him down.
Well, you got to do this. You can't do it at this. Well, yes, you can. But yeah, you got to do it like that. I'll have to tape it later. I'm gonna kick my mom's butt. She been letting them play with a lot of toys that we've had since we were kids. I done had that Barbie for 20 years. She done cracked 2 of my Barbie's heads in the last week. All right, 922. All right, we gotta break. Hello. I attempted to break even and it told me something about a stop or something. I don't know. Buyer pressure came in immediately, so I attempted to break even, but I guess I'm glad it didn't because I just got a full win out of it. It was saying something about the order level or something, like where price was. It looks like it would have never came back to my entry anyway, so it would have been a win no matter what. Coolio. We're back to break even. What price is my middle VWAP? Right now it's at 77.68. What do you want? You gonna watch my phone and sit there? Why does mama have to threaten you to go to the potty? You want my phone? Good to know you got my back, partner. Anytime's a great time for playtime. Oh, hey, you want to hear me go? Here. Here, baby. Yeah, I know where are your socks? All right. So this was a little bit different from the regular setup because this wasn't a lower high, lower low, lower high. We started off with a higher high. So anytime that happens, this like is an attempt to start a new trend, right? Because we started off with a higher high. So we were attempting to go higher and we couldn't. So because of that, I was clear to take the trade going back to the middle VWAP level. I normally don't if it's the regular lower low, lower high combo. But we are back to break even, so that's good. So we didn't clear that low over there, so this wasn't a strong enough trend. Buyer pressure came in right when the reversal bar happened. So I would have broken even, but now I just don't even trade it. Can't take the divergence going back because of the way we went through my minor level right here. We went through by 1 tick and reversed, so I can't take the trade going back to it. At some point, I might attempt to kind of figure out how I can trade the regular setups when they don't clear the previous high, because there are times where it works out, but I haven't really looked at the patterns much to figure out, because at one point I was losing that so much and I wasn't even really paying attention to it. So now my goal is to kind of figure out, okay, like what is the pattern that I need to see for it to work out. And as long as it's a consistent pattern, because like I tell y'all, I'm not looking to get every little point of every little move. I don't really care to do that. And it doesn't make sense to do that, because if I can just scalp my way on the move, that's what makes the most sense, right? So I have to kind of figure out the pattern that I need to see when it comes to that. And then I think I'll be good. Once I can add that back into my arsenal, I think I'll be good. We just hit that to a tick, so I don't wanna. All right, so this red line here is the overnight high. So we're kind of going back to the overnight range right now. The overnight range was like 26 points. So we'll see what we do here. The yellow dots are the middle pivot level. So we're in the very middle of the major support and resistance levels. Okay, we just had a random spike of 10 o'clock volume. Let's see if we get the 10 o'clock lag. So my lag just spiked up to like 0.27 seconds. Why is my entry all the way up there? I might have clicked that too late or something. That's all right. All right. That's insane. Y'all, I don't know what it is about the lag at 10 o'clock, but it is literally insane. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the buy going back towards the overnight low. Everything else set up just fine, but that I'm not quite sure. We got a 1 bar pullback. I used to not take the 1 bar pullbacks after 10, but we're good. That should. Why was my entry there? Hello? Hold on, you guys. I'm glad I was paying attention because that almost didn't break even for me. Close. My entry was at 11, so why didn't it? My break even is at 22 ticks. So why didn't that break even? This is why I have the numbers there so I can see just in case for whatever reason my ATM fails me. So when I saw 23 sitting there, I knew that we went 22 ticks and my break even should have happened and it didn't. And I don't really understand why. Yeah, so I have written down on my charts that when we're going back to the overnight low, I should only be taking sales going back to the overnight low, not buys. But I don't know when I wrote that and if that's all the way right. So I'll make note of it And it sounds weird to go to sell going back to the overnight low, but for whatever reason with my Rinko strategy, I think that that's what works best, not buys going back. But again, I could have wrote that at a time when I was trading just slightly different before certain adjustments that I made. I'm more concerned about why this didn't move me to break even. The entry was at 11, so 22 ticks should have been 550, right? Yeah, 5.5. So I don't really know what was up with that, but we're still break even, so we're good. You're green in your new PA. Okay, we love to see it. You're at break even on your buy. Oh, so you bought like pretty low, huh? What time did you enter your buy? We are starting to push up. It depends on if we can get back into the range and keep going. And I think the reason, well, no, because I trade the major support and resistance levels different. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see about that buy right there. I'll have to see. So this buy would be pushing back towards it. I would have broken even right there though. Didn't clear that all the way. I would have manually broken even if I took this buy. We rotated over this level. And seller pressure came in right away, so. But I'm curious to see if this is gonna push down, because this would have that would have came literally one tick from breaking even. I used to break even after 20 ticks in profit, but there's so many times where it goes 20 ticks, hits my break even, and continues going. And what I noticed is most of the trades that I just wouldn't take, or either they were invalid trades based on the newest adjustments that I made, or if it was like trades that I would break even manually anyway, then it was whatever. But when I looked at all the trades that actually won, I didn't have to really worry about it coming back or whatever until 22 ticks in profit. I'm gonna go look again to make sure I have it. Yeah, I have it set up right. You can see 22 profit trigger. So yeah, I still don't know why that didn't go properly. Oh, you've been buying since the open? Got you. Okay. Looks like we're trying to push back up. What's your profit target? The open it was at what? 88.25? Let's see. We could stall here a little bit. We didn't stall long enough. We didn't stall long enough, so I didn't get into the sell. All right, it looks like the 10 o'clock crackhead movement has slowed down. Because I don't know where that volume just came from. Usually at 10 o'clock, it gets extremely slow and it starts to lag really bad. But that was like crackhead movement out of nowhere. That was a little crazy. So I'm not really interested in this next buy. So I'm gonna sit out. Hello, you're from Brazil. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you and meet you. I have about 50 more minutes left before I get off of here. And don't worry, I'm not somebody who continues to trade after I get off the stream. When I'm off, I'm off. No, I just limit my trading time. I don't want it to feel like another job. So 2.5 hours is all the market gets for me. And then after that, all the lines start blurring and I start getting cross-eyed. I can't look anymore. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Y'all done getting in trouble? Seems we're gonna go down maybe for yesterday's low. Let's see. Yesterday's low is at 542. That's pretty low. You think? That is a pretty low. Oh, we didn't quite get up there. I didn't take that sale. I would have been able to break even because I would have just broken even at the overnight low anyway. But I didn't take it since it was so close to the entry. It would have been pointless. I am interested to see what this buy is gonna do. It's a lot of volume in that bar. You know what? I'm gonna break even because I don't know. I was like halfway paying attention and I don't remember exactly what I saw. I feel like there was indecision in those first two bars, okay, there we go. I'm glad I did. Let me see. Sometimes the things flash on my screen so fast, and whenever I'm like indecisive or I can't remember exactly what I saw because it flashed so fast, I'll break even. That's one of those times. I'm almost certain that I saw that first bar after the reversal, there was indecision there. I use a zigzag indicator that's based on volume as well. And whenever there's indecision, the zigzag won't attach to the bar. And so with this pattern that I was looking at, because we were going back to a double top, if there's indecision in any bar after the reversal, or if there is seller pressure that comes in, I will get out of the trade because we're going back to a double top. So we need there to be like full blown buyer pressure the entire way with no indecision for me to feel comfortable staying in the trade, because that lets me know that we have enough to like push through the double top. Hopefully that makes sense. But there was indecision. I'm glad I got the hell out because look what happened. All right, that is a higher. This is a double top from a higher high. So 348. Glad I did that. These are the kind of days where like if I can just at least break even, I'm cool with it. Technically I should be up at least one trade, maybe two. At least one trade though for sure. So I should be up like about 80 something bucks per account. Monday was a break even day that should have been a positive day as well because I took 3 trades that day, won one, lost one, break even on one, and the loss was an invalid trade. So if I have huge swings in my P&L, but the loss days are like only commissions or like less than 250, I'm cool with that. What I don't like is if I make 400 today, lose 800 the next day, make 900, lose 600. That 348. I don't think that's gonna break even in time. I should have pushed the button a long time ago, so that's my fault. The buyer pressure came in right after I got in. I should have broken even. I can take that one on the chin. We failed to break that low. Hello, Karthik from India. Welcome to the stream. We are red because of my own doings. I definitely had time to break even too. Yeah, I did. Sometimes I'm just a little slow with the button. I have a break even button on my chart trader that I use, the close bar entry indicator. And sometimes I'm just trying to see when the entry happens, and then I just fail to push the button. I don't need that in anymore. All right, so we got 40 minutes to try to turn this thing around. If there's anything that pops up, the good thing is still positive because we had a decent day yesterday. Oh, that was the other thing. When I think I calculated that yesterday I missed out on like 7 full wins, which is absolutely insane. So then you have days like today where it's like, okay, I should be positive right now, or probably depending on how that one loss, I'm still not sure if how I want to do that one, but at least with the first one, I know it shouldn't have been that way. So I should only be negative like $40. But it's like yesterday, you know, I had a $350 day per account, but it really should have been like $1,200. So then when you have a lost day, it's like, cool, I can make up for it. It's whatever. So that sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know if we're gonna clear my minor level there, but we'll see. I just rejected off of it. Is it gonna keep pushing or what? $5.36. It's struggling. We're rejecting off of this lower high over here. It might not survive. And nothing yet is really telling me to break even, so I can't, because then I wouldn't be following my rules and I would be making emotional decisions because of all the drawdown. And I don't like trading that way. So until something clear and specific pops up, I have to stay in, because that's the way I trade. If it loses, it loses, which it looks like it will. We just keep rejecting off of my minor level there. There's nothing I could do about it. We were having such a good day, but it's cool. Once I go back and I'm still, for those of you guys who are new, I am still developing my strategy, okay? So you're going to see swings and P&Ls because I'm still developing things. The only thing I could say about this trade that I wasn't the most happy with is we kind of like pushed off of this level right here. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. If we didn't get so high, maybe I would have been cool with it. And I also know that my middle level that I removed, I know it's there, even though I can't see it. I completely removed it from my chart, but that would have been a like a divergence trade there. So yeah, I just don't know. Had seller pressure came in, I would have been cool with getting out, but it was buyer pressure the whole time and it was divergence, so that's what it should be. So yeah, what do you want? There. So yeah. Oh Jesus, he's playing with that toy again. All right, so we're going towards 749 will change my bias back to an uptrend. Where are we at? We got 30 minutes left. Probably going to end up negative, and that's okay. That is okay. That was an equal low. Yeah, I don't really feel like I could have prevented that loss at all, except just maybe removing that from my arsenal now. Okay, that's interesting. So that rotation level just popped up. I might completely remove it actually, and I'm gonna make a note for myself. I might remove that setup. And the way that this just painted, like once it hit that level up there that changed it to an uptrend, there's a rotation level that just popped up here. So it popped up here once we got up there, right? And it's a buy rotation level. So with me selling, let me put it back on the screen. So with me selling, if the level was there while I was actually trading the sale, I would have broken even there because it's a buy rotation level, right? However, it didn't pop up until we touched the level up here. So what I'm probably going to do, because that probably will happen a lot, I'll just get rid of that setup. Easy. Coming into the new year, I thought I would have 6 PAs by now. I guess I'm just going to be passing 1 PA a month. You going to get to your 6. A morning star and a 5-minute chart. I don't even know. I don't know chart patterns like that. I don't know candle patterns like that. The morning star and the hammer, this, and I know what a doji is, but that's about as much as you get from me. I always study like chart patterns, not really candle patterns like that. But yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of that because that will drive me insane to lose like that. Yeah. All right. So I shouldn't run into that problem anymore. All right. I don't want to take this buy. That would be a very stupid buy. We're rejecting off the overnight high again. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. I'm in deep thought because let me go back and look at that. It was the same. Certain patterns I know, like you just kind of have to take the good with the bad. But other ones, I just feel like I can probably prevent that loss in the future. And that last loss, I know that's something that I could just not take because we didn't clear it. My minor level was right there and we didn't clear it. And I kept saying that, like, yo, it's reversing there. And then that level just popped up after we hit the level up there. So, all right, I'm not interested in that sale. That sale is going to be real weird, probably, if it actually happens. You're using a Heikinashi chart, a 5-minute Heikinashi. Do you look at anything else when you're trading the Heikinashi? Completely removed. There, I'm probably in the wrong notebook actually. There was like a little bit of back testing that I did when I removed my middle level, and I'm trying to find it. We're trying to push through the middle pivot level, but it's having a hard time. Where is it? All right, I think I might have. All right, we're trying to push through. Let's see if we actually push through or we reverse back down. Just the EMA and what's VP? Is that VWAP? Heikinashi, it sounds like an anime show. It does. Heikinashi candles are cool because they only change color. It's like it's a trend. You're able to like kind of see the trend a little bit, I guess, better kind of with the Heikinashi. The only problem is it's a fake open and close. So you kind of still want to keep your regular candles to on another chart next to it just so you can see like what the market actually really looks like at the time. But yeah, Heikinashis are cool. Push the button. My nephew is so sleepy. And he can't go to sleep because I have to do his hair. Alright, so Did I do something really stupid? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. I actually I don't know how I want to trade that. I think right now I'm okay with that loss. I think. Because I don't really feel like there's anything I could have done to prevent that one. Because when I'm going back and looking at like my back testing data, it doesn't lose a lot actually. Yeah, I think that's just one of those times, really. Um, yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I'm not selling there off that overnight high. Uh, yeah, I think I'm just okay with that loss, you guys. I am. Yeah, we just gotta eat that one. Does my volume distinguish between buy and sell side? Oh, VP is volume profile. Oh yeah, I don't use the volume profile. It looks really I wouldn't say weird on Rinkos. I don't really know. I've saved a couple videos on YouTube to learn more about volume profile, but I don't really like the way it looks on the screen. It drives me crazy. Yeah. Make money with this shit. I feel it. Hey, you have to do what works for you. I had to talk about that a couple of weeks ago. Somebody told me what I need to put on my charts, and I'm like, what? You do what works for you, and you allow other people to do what works for them. Because what I see is totally different from what you see. I can bring up the same exact chart that you have, and I will look at it a totally different way because we're two different people with two different minds and two different thought processes. I just use it's the on NinjaTrader, it's the volume up down. So literally whatever color the bar is, it paints it that color. So like all of these green bars, it'll paint it green and it'll just show me how much volume is in the bars. Which honestly, unless it's the reversal bar or like an outside bar like those, the volume is pretty flat in all the other bars. So you see, I didn't take that sell. I would have lost. So because my stop loss is only 24 ticks, a wick of any bar after the reversal can't come more than like 3 ticks outside of the, if it comes 3 ticks outside of the entry bar, then I would lose. And this one came way more than 3. So having such a tight stop loss is why I've had to make the rules the way that they are, because there's very little room for error because of stuff like that. Seller pressure just came back in there. Trust yourself in your strategy. Be confident on your trade. Absolutely. And that goes for anybody. For me right now, I don't all the way trust my strategy because it's still in development, but I'm very confident in it. It's just certain patterns that don't set up often, or, like I was saying a couple of streams ago, what I was focused on last week is not what I'm focused on this week, because with the things that I was focused on last week, I've figured out the patterns that I want to see and what I want to trade. And so now I've moved on to another set of things that I'm focused on. So because I can't focus on 35 patterns at a time, I can only focus on a couple. So every week I'm having to make minor adjustments because now I've focused on this thing that I see every single day. How do I want to trade this? How do I not want to trade it? When do I want to stay out? When do I want to get in? Kind of thing. No. 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 Get out of it, thank you. What? Get off of that before you fall. You want what? Oh, you want a different color? Get my phone. Get my phone. You change it on the phone. Oh, you looking for the remote. Come on, baby. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Here, you don't have to do it on the phone. Here you go. You gotta take it over there though, so you could use it. Here, look, you gotta do this. Look. Look. Watch out, because I don't want to roll over your feet. Move that way. You didn't have to back all the way up to the wall, silly. Here. I have LED lights in my room, and he likes to change the colors based on his little mood. Okay, there. Why do you always go for white? Okay. Alright, we're stalling pretty significantly here. I don't know if we're gonna break out either way for me to be able to get into any trades, so we'll see. I've taken 10 trades today. Not the best day, but few lessons learned, which is most important. If you're not learning, you're not doing right, especially when you're in the development stages. So it looks like I won 3 trades, lost 1, 2, 3, 5, broke even on 2. Oh, why did I just do that? You done?
No.
You have to stop pushing buttons here. Now, I lost the one trade that was a buy going back towards the overnight low. So I'm not going to sell going back here, even if everything else sets up properly. Just because in my notes, I do the opposite. So we'll see what happens. If it wins, I'm cool with sitting out of a win. Alright, at this moment, it's set up properly. 12, 13. So let's see what happens. Watch this be the trade that wins. And it'll piss me off. Why are you flashing them lights like that? And there's the win. So, let's see. Yes. And actually, I might not even count that one. Yeah, I'm not gonna count that one. Did you poop? Stop! Move! I don't know All right. All right, so that's the pattern I just lost on earlier. Oh, he smells so bad. Wow, what happened? What happened? Bring me a diaper and your wipes. This is the same pattern I just lost on earlier. Now, the overnight low is... Oh, I need the whole thing. With the body... with the overnight low going through the body of that candle, I wouldn't have gotten into it anyway. But, again, that's the same pattern I just lost. Thank you. Hop up there so I can change you, please. All right, y'all. I got to turn my camera off for just a second. I have a change of dirty diaper. Rejected the VWAP on the 5-minute. Turn around. Turn around. Stop playing. You smell so horrible. Move all of this out the way. You need to learn how to say you're going to the potty. You hear me? You stink. You know you have to boo-boo. You need to say I have to boo-boo. Okay? Okay? Because don't nobody want to change no poop from somebody who eat grown people food. You stink. What? Bubba! Amora! Bring me 2 bags, please. 2 of them. No. 2 plastic bags. Come on. Lift up. Up. All right. Jesus Christ. That was disgusting. You smell. Go away. Thank you, baby. Stop touching stuff. Move. Jesus Christ. Stop. Move. What do you want? You want what? No. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're back. Excuse me. It's a lot of hoopla going on right there. It's a lot of consolidation. Gotta be real careful. There's like a buy rotation level here, so I can't take any sales right now. What do you want? You stink. Give me my phone. Where the phone at? Where's my phone? Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Here. Yeah, with 9 minutes left, I highly doubt I get any more trades, honestly. And I'm satisfied with today. No matter what, whether I made mistakes, whether I missed trades, whatever. When you combine all of those things, as long as my negative day is around 250, I'm cool. No matter what. Is my niece calling me? No, maybe not. So I'm around that 250 mark. I'm cool. Once I go through and I start writing all my trades down and stuff, I might feel a little different. No, I'm good. As long as it all makes sense in the end. That's that rotation level I was talking about. I should definitely be at least break even though today. So that makes me happy though. I should either be break even or like maybe up one trade. You ready to wash your hair? Come here. You gotta take your hair down because TT has to wash it. What is the blue line? The blue line, that is, you can't tell that it's squiggly, but the squiggly lines are all order flow VWAP. So that's the first deviation level, the lower level of the order flow VWAP on NinjaTrader. I have a lifetime license. I've had it for like 4 years, so I don't use a regular VWAP. I use order flow VWAP. Have 5 minutes left. So the cool thing is because I had such a good day yesterday and because Monday was just a break even day, I am still in profit on the 50K accounts that I started on Monday. So that's cool. I was hoping we'd be able to get enough profit today to get my 25K back to break even as far as the balance goes. I still would have been negative a little bit on the trailing threshold, but that's okay. Every week, my goal is to make sure the account at least survives. Because each week, I have a total of 5 accounts. I'm only trading 3 right now because I cycle the same 5 accounts since you get the free reset when you fail the account or whatever. So I never trade the account the first week it comes back. I wait a full week and then I start trading the following Monday on it. So that's why I'm only trading 3 accounts right now. But then on Monday, I will be adding at least, it looks like I'll be adding one more of the 25Ks back, and the other one won't come back until probably the following week. All right, let's see. It's worked perfect. Oh yeah, you see how it came down there? I don't even know. Oh, I know exactly why I didn't take the trade. Had it looked slightly different, I actually would have been able to get into that buy, but I couldn't. Especially because my overall bias wasn't uptrend anyway. That was a perfect setup, but the zigzag was red for seller pressure. I'm trading nasty Nas. Do you ever look at Apple? Good morning, Chuck Deasy from Cali. I was in Cali very briefly. I did a 3-month travel nurse stint there about 4 years ago, or 5 years ago. 4 or 5, I don't know. No, I don't ever look at Apple. Literally, the only thing I look at is the Nasdaq because I don't want my bias to be based on earnings or anything like that. Like my hold on, let me put my baby back in the bed. Titi about to do your hair, okay? The reason why I don't look at other stuff in the process of me developing this strategy is because I want it to be as simple as possible. We had a conversation probably last week on stream about this, but I don't know if I'll ever teach to the masses. I do know that there are certain family members who want to learn how to trade and stuff like that, right? So my goal is to keep my strategy as simple as possible because the more things you have to look at, the more variables you have, the easier it is for people to interpret things differently. That makes sense. So hold on 1 second, cause let's see, 9:05. All right. Yeah. So my biggest issue with a lot of strategies is just how things vary based on how people read the market. And to me, that's kind of an issue because if I have a strategy that I teach people and I have 100 people all looking at the same charts, but everybody's looking at the charts differently, that's a problem. If I have to have people have Apple open and this open and Microsoft and look at this and look at that, that's too many things for people to be able to focus on. And that's just my knowledge of dealing with thousands of people at the same time. Have history and just dealing with people in different industries. But yeah, I want my strategy to where whether I only teach my family and friends or one day I decide, okay, I do want to teach the masses, I want to make it to where if I have 1,000 students, everybody took the same trade because it's robotic. Either the chart looks like this and you take the trade, or the chart looks like this and you don't. It's that simple. So like, I know how to read the markets pretty well, whether I'm using Rincos or whatever, but I have to make things make sense on paper in case I ever teach it. So while I can look at the chart and say, oh, I probably shouldn't get into this because of this, it needs to make sense on paper so that if I teach people, they would think the same way and not just because of emotions or anything else. And that also keeps people from going on tilt, from making emotional trading decisions, because my strategy thus far is extremely robotic. There are certain reasons why you would manually break even, and there are specific reasons why you would get into a trade or not. So I feel like I'm at the tail end of developing my strategy though, because the whipsaws in profit and loss are not as drastic, number one. And number two, my accounts, besides like maybe 2 weeks ago, my accounts are lasting longer, which is important as well. And it helps that I'm scalping because I don't have to worry about being up $500 in a trade and breaking even at 100 and losing $400 in drawdown. But yeah, so I went through a rough patch a couple of weeks ago because I had won four trading days out of 5 1 week, went 2 straight weeks of negative days. Then I think last week it was 2 winning days, 3 negative days, and then this week so far I had a break even Monday, green yesterday, red today. But the good thing is, over time I learned from it because I'm still developing. So you have to learn when you're losing. It's just every week I'm focused on other patterns, different patterns that I'm seeing. And once I solidify a set of patterns, then the following week I'm focused on something else. So a lot of my trades that I feel comfortable and confident in is because I've already solidified those rules weeks ago. But a lot of trades that I lose, it's like on my cheat sheet, I have like a question mark as far as like, do I want it to look this way? Do I want it to look that way? So it'll probably take me, I've been volume based for almost 2 months now. It's probably going to take me at least another 2 weeks before I fully commit and solidify my rules. I think at least 2 weeks, but we'll see. But yeah, all my accounts are evals. That's why it says Apex in the front of it instead of it'll say PA dash whatever. So I've gotten, not with this set of 5 because I've been trading the same 5 accounts since I started with Apex. I didn't buy five off the rip. I started with 1, added a couple, because for me, once I realized like, oh, it would be smart for me to give myself 3 weeks to pass or fail and have a brand new account coming back every week. With I think like maybe my second set, because what happened was when I first started, there was only a 50% renewal discount. So when they came out with 60%, guess what? I got rid of all the evals that I had and I started over. Did the same thing when the 70% came, and then when the 80% came, then I dropped all of them and got a new set. So I've been trading this set for a while now because I don't pay for resets. Once I found out that you get a free reset on renewal, baby, I haven't paid for a reset in I don't know how long. But the few times that I got like pretty close to passing, I purposely failed my accounts because I knew my strategy wasn't where I needed it to be. I think that you do yourself a disservice knowing that your strategy is not exactly the best, but you are, whether you're YOLOing evals, I don't know, I know a lot of people who YOLO on news and stuff like that, but why do that I think you should trade your evals how you trade your PAs. And if you know your strategy is not where it needs to be yet, don't pass the evals. Like, what's the purpose? What is the purpose of me passing an eval just to say, oh, I got a PA, and me blowing it because my strategy isn't where it needs to be? That's crazy. That's extra money spent for no reason when I can continue to just spend this little $30 a month, $26 a month on the account, and continue to use it as my practice. I've had people say, well, you could practice on Sam and there's third-party indicators you could use to give yourself a trail and drawdown. I don't want to do that. I want to actually trade with the accounts that I would have, not use nothing third party. And the only reason I have 5 accounts is because they're all at 80% off, so it's cheap. And all of my billing dates are a week apart, besides the 250Ks. One is the 1st and one is the 5th. But all the accounts aside from that are 1 week apart. So that's why I said every Monday I have a fresh account to trade, because I've already failed it. It's coming back and I got a new account to trade. So that's just my thought process. I've never had a PA. I don't want a PA yet until I feel like I won't fail the PA. And my strategy ain't there yet. It's very close. I probably have like maybe 2 minor adjustments. I'm 2 minor adjustments away from like solidifying things, I think. Because every week I have less and less adjustments to make. Even when I'm discovering like new things about a pattern I've been seeing every day, very minor adjustments. You got to keep Apple up. I have not looked at, I think I have Apple stock if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, I don't look at nothing else. But I am looking forward to getting to the point where I feel comfortable, like, all right, let's just let this thing go. Let's go ahead and pass the PA. One of the things that helped me, because I have not been working for like a year and a half, I was kind of forced into this position, but I'm grateful for it. I do think that some people rush the process with trading because I don't want to call them desperate, but I think when you see so many people so successful doing this, you are trying to speed up the process because you know that of all the things, all the opportunities that we have out here, this is one of the best. When you can master trading, it's literally like printing money. You need $1,000 for a trip to Jamaica. Cool. Boom. Go in the market for like an hour, get your $1,000 and go. And it's even better because if you have 10 accounts, you just need to make $100 on each. You know what I'm saying? But people don't think that way. They're in such a rush. And I used to see this in like different other industries as well, where people are rushing the process because they don't have anything good to fall back on or go back to. I can go back to nursing, but I know myself. I'm going to get stuck there because it's the easy route. I don't want the easy route. I want the route that's going to change my family tree and change my own life. And the older I get, I'm like, yo, I should not have put this on the back burner for the last 10 years because I've been trading 10 years, but it's been way more off than on. You get frustrated, you take a 6 to 12 month break. I'm not a gambler and I just don't work on that kind of energy. So when I'm frustrated, it doesn't make me go on tilt. It doesn't make me like want to try harder. It just makes me say, F this, I'll get back to it in a year. And that's what I did for the last 10 years. But I'm focused now. And that's another reason why I started a YouTube, because it's like my way of holding myself accountable. Like when I had I still have my other channel. When I was going through my debt-free journey, I felt, no, you're going to get real food. I felt like I had to do certain things. I said no. Don't go ask your mama, because I'm going to tell her to tell you no too. He's so manipulative at you. Granny, I told him no. But anyway. But yeah, that's just my thought process. Like, everybody thinks differently. I don't know. I think maybe because I've had different levels of success in different industries in different phases of my life, that for me, I'm not in a rush. Until I run out of money in my savings account that I've been living off of for the last almost 2 years, and I still have a lot of money left. Until I get to that point, then I'll start to panic and want to get back into nursing just so I can build my savings back up. But like I was telling my mom the other day, it will only take a couple of payouts from the 5 accounts that I have. So if I can get all of these to, the PA and get them to pay out, it will only take a couple of payouts just from these 5 accounts to pay myself back all the money that I've spent out of my savings, living off of it for the last almost 2 years, and then get to the point where it's just paying everything forward. I cannot go back into nursing and make all of this money back that I've spent in my savings in a couple of payouts, a couple of paychecks. I can't. It's the truth. It took me a long time to even save to that point. I can go on travel nurse excursions and contracts, and I still would not be able to replace that money in a couple of payouts. I wouldn't. So I just decide that patience is what's most important for me. I get it. I get why people rush. I get why people see the 1 day pass and the 80% and the 90% and they just go crazy and they buy a whole bunch of accounts. But why do that? Why? I do think that, you should load up to a certain extent, but be smart with it. Because let's be real, Apex throws these promos out. Every time one ends, another one comes. So it's not like you're likely to see it go back to 50%. It's going to be probably 71% or 80%. And it's going to be either the regular pass or the 1 day pass. And they might combine some of them. That's what you're going to see. So buy an account or two with this one. Buy an account or two with the next time. Like, I see people who will literally load up on 20 accounts, they fail them all, and then they cancel them all because they can't afford the rebuild or they don't even want the rebuild. They were just trying to YOLO for the time being. If you're going to do that, why? That doesn't even make sense. So you'll see things done a lot different over here. And it's nothing against what anybody does. Everybody has their judge, but baby, I don't waste money. And I'm not going to waste money on Apex either. So it is what it is. But let me show you guys the accounts because I'm still not going to do the daily update, at least for now. I might start going back to doing them next week. Who knows? But right now, we're not going to do it. So I will show you guys what my drawdown imbalances look like. Let me make it larger. All right, so this is what we're looking like. Negative $800 total for the day, which you can see up there. Does that show right? It is not. Oh, that's why the commissions aren't in the screen from Rhythmic. I have the wrong columns up. But either way, so still have almost $2,200 left in the 250K account. So we started 2 days ago. And then still $850 left in from the account that I started last Monday. Not too bad, still positive, and the balance for the 50Ks, which is important. But hopefully tomorrow we have a little bit better of a day. If I can at least end the week with, since Monday was a break-even day, if at least tomorrow is a pretty decent, tomorrow or Friday, if one of these days is like pretty good profit, I'll feel good going into next week. I'm still going to feel good going into next week because I keep making progress every week. But I'm definitely hoping Thursday and Friday are better days. Hopefully I can at least get the 50Ks back to full trailing threshold. Not sure about the 25K or the 25K because I definitely need like 650 in profit to get that back to the full trailing threshold. So we'll see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope you guys are having a good trading day yourselves. And if not, turn the red back to green. And yeah, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be here at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow morning. Have a good rest of your day.